Hey everyone, Mike McClellan, Spro Pro here, and you know, a lot of people ask me when I'm not throwing one of my signature series baits, the McStick or the rock crawler, what Spro bait do you lean on the most? I like them all, but the Fat Papa is probably the one that I really rely on the most. Probably the biggest reason why it's the Fat Papa that I rely on the most is simply the fact that I like that mid-range depth diving crankbait. You know, there's a lot of guys that concentrate on shallow diving crankbaits. There's a lot of guys that really focus on that deeper diving range, but to me, the Fat Papa and the rock crawler are two baits that are really similar in the fact that they both work effectively in that mid-depth zone, that 5 to 12 foot zone. And that's probably the reason why I throw that Fat Papa as much as I do. The reason that I do throw it is there's certain times when they don't want that wide wobbling hunting action that the Spro rock crawler's got. They want something that's a little bit tighter, something that's more along the lines of shad and bait fish imitators. So that's probably the biggest reason I rely on that Fat Papa, is to give myself a bait that I can throw in that same depth zone but imitate a different type of forage, you know, not necessarily crawfish, but shad and brim and things like that. As far as where I throw it, man, I throw it across the country. I mean, when you look at the different lakes that we fish, border to border, coast to coast, there's a lot of opportunities to catch fish in that mid-depth zone, that 5 to 12 foot zone, and that's where that Fat Papa 55 and the Fat Papa 70 really come into play. I mean, Toledo Bend, Rayburn, places like that, Grand Lake, the Fat Papa 70 is probably the bait that I rely on the most, that wide wobbling, big body, big profile bait to make sure you catch the big ones that you need to come in with at the end of the day. So, you know, that's probably the biggest reason I rely on the Fat Papa, and I'm going to tell you too, you need to try them out.